Welcome back to the Sun and Moon Tarot. Today we will find what is good and what is hidden. I hope you're well and staying blessed, enjoying life wherever you are. This is a Leo season read for my fire signs. If you do have Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries highly aspected, this read is likely for you. Happy birthday to my Leo sun signs. I hope you enjoy your season. We'll be doing the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. For the general reads, this is your general read. If you'd like to check out my website, it is live. I will link it below. You can book with me there if you'd like, or at the email that's typically listed at the description box. It just got like my booking prices featured and a couple other extras. If you want to check out my website, please do. In addition, for Leo season, my beautiful fire signs, your extra clarification cards will be from the Dreams of Gaia tarot deck, if you're interested. It's beautiful. I love it. It's the artwork is absolutely gorgeous. Love the deck. So, yeah. Hope you're enjoying your season. Hope you enjoy the content that I produce. And let's get into your read, fire signs. Is what it is for now, I guess. Okay, so for the lineup, if you're new to the channel, the recent past is the first row. There will be 3. This, oh, whoops, sorry, cards are flying. The second row will be your your current energy. The third row will be your future. We'll grab like 2 clarifying cards from this deck. The bottom of the deck holds the overall energy or the theme for your seasonal experience. And then we'll grab some of those, the Dreams of Gaia deck as well. I think that just is the perfect amount, even though I do not like how a lot of them are in the reverse. But we're going to work with what we're given today. Why are you? Okay, so for your recent past, my beautiful fire signs, you do have the Queen of Cups, the Moon card, excuse me, and the 8 of Cups. In your current energy, you have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse, the Devil card in reverse, the 9 of Cups in reverse. You do have a double 9 presenting, and both, of course, in the reverse. We're going to move this around just a teensy-weensy bit. Your future holds the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, the Page of Swords in reverse, and the Chariot as well. Okay. So for your overall energy or your theme, or your theme, as we call it for the read, your overall experience, I like to call it, because it applies to every row, and also the clarifying cards. The 6 of Wands is a fire card, so it represents creative passion. It does represent victory, success, and public reward. It's often experiencing this kind of passionate joy throughout the season, if that makes sense. You will ultimately overcome things one way or another. It will play out in the way that it should, if that makes sense. So, the Queen of Cups, the Moon, and the 8 of Cups. The Queen of Cups is upright. She is going to represent compassion, calm, and comfort. The Moon is what is hidden, unconscious thoughts, illusions, intuition, and unclarity. The 8 of Cups is the energy of, I don't think I talked about that. So the Moon card is spirit or etherical energy, And the Eight of Cups, or the water card, is a representation of emotional energy. The Eight of Cups is also emotional energy in terms of emotionally recognizing that there's some sort of disillusionment broken. You have to leave something behind. You are absolutely walking away. It's not a question. In the recent past, you've been experiencing victories towards moving away from whatever this is, and ultimately it's like the goal is, if it's going to resonate for you, is going to be that regardless of what is hidden and what you're learning that you need to kind of walk away from, your major energy is the attempt to experience calm, comfort, and compassion. In your current energy, the Nine of Pentacles, the Devil, and the Nine of Cups, all in reverse, right? The only one we haven't talked about yet is Earth and Air. I'm going to just go ahead and go over this right now, so it's done. Earth, in terms of energy, is a representation of third dimensional movement. That's what I like to say. Although a lot of people like to say like it's actual like Earth or actual money, which is fine. Then of course the Devil is a spirit card or etherical energy. The Page of Swords is the only air sign I see in the deck right now, and that is an energy of logic. Okay, so we hit all the energy points now. Excuse me. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse is energy of living beyond means and obsession with work. The Devil in reverse is freedom, release, restoring control. The Nine of Cups in reverse is a lack of true joy, smugness, and dissatisfaction. So there might be some sort of form of like major transition, regardless of what it is. I know we just talked about this, but like you're emotionally, so in the recent past, you're coming to terms emotionally and also spiritually with change that needs to come. In the current energy, it's more about the actual physical change as well as the continuation of emotional change. I like to present this as a psychological idea, that it's not mine, it's just an idea that I like to cite. When people experience change, whatever their like picture in their brain of what is set has to shift. So in the first row, that's what you're experiencing, my beautiful fire signs. It's the shift of kind of recognizing, okay, and starting to pull out whatever the thing or the person is out of that permanent place for a mental image, if you will, or a mental affirmation board, excuse me, if you will, that you're kind of going through. And then in the current energy, it's more about the continuation of that energy, but also it's starting in the physical in a more serious way. The Six of Wands is going, like I said, like I've already mentioned, is all applied in this row as well. So you're catching victory, even if it might not feel great, with the change that you need to continue to dive into. Now, in your stop, baby, no, hey, get out of there, you little kitty cat. Henri. Yeah, you, Henri. Okay, sorry. Excuse me. Please, please. Kitty cat. Sorry. We're on your Lou, be good. On your future row, right. Queen of Pentacles in reverse is going to be an energy of self-centeredness, jealousy, and smothering. The Page of Swords in reverse is an energy of deception, manipulation, and potentially all talk action. The Chariot is a representation of discipline, self-control, and success. So regardless of the first two cards in this row being kind of like me. So like if you're not doing that, someone might be doing that to you in the future, and you might have to like maneuver around it. If otherwise it's going to be you, and you are going to overcome this behavior with what we would call like actual self-discipline, not just talking about it but practicing it. No offense. Yeah, the Chariot's a good card though for your final card for your future row. I know that the first two cards look like rough and there's a lot of change. If this is resonating with you, there's a lot of change going on. So ultimately, if you're in a relationship and it's that kind of a thing, you're transitioning away and you're making those movements to make it permanent in the physical dimension. And like ultimately you might feel some like forms of jealousy as change happen, or they might, or you both might. It's just going to be like a weird energy, it looks like, in the future. And I mean, I would not be manipulative. It won't benefit you. But hopefully it is the other person that is being manipulative, and therefore you're able to overcome in that manner. But you're going to do what you want, right? I'm not trying to tell you what to do. Anyway, fire signs, if this is more of like a career or like I'm physically moving places read for you, it's a big focus on what is peace, what will create compassion, and you might feel stagnant where you are, kind of a thing, and you might be transitioning away from it to create more peace, right? And there might be some form in the workplace or in like attempting, I'm not supposed to say that, it just depends on the dimension of your life for this. If you'd like an in-depth read, please try to book a personal with me or another reader that you align with. Ultimately excuse me, ultimately, even if it's a career read, there might be a note of, or even you experiencing a worry in the future of people being manipulative and a bit jealous, even in the career place, even in the neighborhood, even in a spiritual connection, like things where that's just, it shouldn't be present. Like there shouldn't be a competition, but it is. And either way, you will experience a form of like self-discipline that will teach you how to maneuver through this period. If you're like worried at all, fire signs, it will work out. At least that's what I've got here with the Chariot. Okay, well, for your clarification cards, let's talk about this. We've got the 10 of Swords upright and the King of Pentacles in the upright as well. Okay, so the Ten of Swords is a Vertical card. It's logically potentially experiencing failure, collapse, defeat, and or backstabbing. Excuse me. The King of Pentacles is abundance, prosperity, provider, and generosity energy. Of course, he is the King of Earth. So, I don't know if you're worried about an Earth sign. That could be present. You could be worried about, or like this is the most likely outcome is that you're a little bit anxious about it being in, no matter where the read is for you. But if you're in competition, I mean, in terms of your life, if you're in competition with someone that is an Earth sign, you might be like, it's either a warning that they're going to backstab you and try to defeat you in some way, and that they are in fact jealous and being manipulative, or like even in, remember, because this is a general read, so this could even be in the workplace. This doesn't have to be your relationship. There's just a note to be wary of that. It's, of course, continue being disciplined and continue seeking victory in what you wish. It's just that if you're potentially worried about someone being manipulative and backstabbing you, they might in fact do that. You might in fact not be reading into it. They might really genuinely be like a manipulator, and they might really be trying to backstab you, or like on a really bad level. It's like someone that's sociopathic. So they're like gossiping about you, and like you're having to deal with the repercussions of kind of like either defending yourself or just kind of like dealing with people kind of judging you and not caring, because I hate to be this person to say this, but if people don't take your side when someone's gossiping about you, they've already chosen sides. That's my rule of thumb. I'm not going to defend myself to some, or excuse me, I hate that term. I should have said that. That's my rule. Excuse me. Wow, I can't believe I just said that. Fuck. Okay, so excuse me for that. That was very, very bad. It was so bad that I completely forgot what I was even talking about. Oh my god. Anyway, I grabbed your other cards that we're gonna check. I don't know. Apparently, I'm not supposed to talk about that because it's completely gone. I can't believe I said that. Very bad terminology usage. Anyway, so since my backtracking is not possible, I think I'm not supposed to say whatever I was saying, so I'm just gonna drop it for now. We're gonna pull the Dream of Gaia cards, and as long as they're not like excessively nude, I don't think I see anything per se that's like, this is kind of inappropriate, but it's meant to represent the Two of Cups, so I'm just going to slightly cover up. I mean, like her, I don't know, it just depends on your beliefs. She's covered now, I feel like. Anyway, just know that it is, in fact, oh wait, I guess I should do this. So at the bottom of the deck, you did get the the 7, excuse me, the 7 of water. We're going to set this here. Good. Okay, and then you did get the Counselor card. And then the one I'm trying not to show too much of is the water, the 2 of water. But I mean, it's really not that sexual. It's just like a side view. Anyway, and then the Desire card. So maybe it is sexual. Oh my god, you do not want to know what just popped into my brain about some of y'all. It's not like a visual image, it's a comment. To be clear, it's nothing pervy or weird. Anyway, usually, I mean, never mind, this doesn't matter. Oh shit, right. So I am gonna push this out just like a little bit. I feel like you can't see anything, but I just know YouTube's gonna be a dick when I post this, so I need to like prepare myself. Anyway, okay, good. So the 7 of water, or the 7 of cups, is usually the daydream card for most decks, or for the Rider-Waite deck, and that's the definition we're going to go with. It's typically searching for purpose, choices, and daydreaming, which we've already discussed is something that you're likely experiencing if this read has resonated for you at all. Like there's some sort of major change happening in your life. It doesn't have to be a relationship, like a romantic relationship. It doesn't have to be a platonic relationship. It doesn't have to be a parental relationship. It doesn't have to be a career. It doesn't have to be a hobby, a networking community, etc. Or like moving neighborhoods or cities or states or countries. But it could be. The Counselor is present, the 2 of Cups, and the Desire card. The 2 of Cups in the Rider-Waite deck and most decks typically represents unity, partnership, and connection. So there's a form of, regardless of what dimension it is, but you're seeking connection. You desire it in a major way. You might be seeking like actual counseling, like therapy, because you want to build more compassionate things in the future that kind of like balance out your life. You might want to understand your own actions in the past as well as other people's, because you want like unity. You know what I mean? I hope you do. It's just something that you're really interested in, which I think is really beautiful. And maybe like you consistently worry about people backstabbing you, but they don't really. Maybe they do. I don't know. But either way, you're going to counseling to kind of figure out why you bring in the energies that you bring in and why you have to deal with certain things you have to deal with. If you are a Sagittarius or an Aries, I hate to break it to you, but you're like, one's the fighter and one's the kind of like defender of the zodiac. The Leos are the only fire signs that aren't really like, I mean, they can be fighters, but they're typically not like, they're not I'm not trying to be mean, but Leos are not typically like in the chaos. Chaos is not, chaos takes over, and Leos like to shine. So in environments where they are not able to feel like they're able to shine, they will kind of disappear. They will not like join in per se, like a Sag or an Aries. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to be clear. And you might be focused on, if you're one of those two signs, you might be focused on kind of like, how do I create more stable, compassionate connections, regardless of how they appear in your life? And how do I create less of whatever this is, if that's really happening for you? This like backstabbing energy, because ultimately that would be a karmic energy, right? That you'd need to clear out somehow. If you need to do like dharma work, where that would be like doing good things for others without expecting pay, or like them to do something in return. That would be a good way to get dharma, to like shift forms of karma in your life, because you've potentially, I'm not trying to be mean, but maybe you don't have the best past or something. Excuse me. And so if you want to clear that out, and you might be seeking professional help, or like people that do energetic work, you might be seeking help with that. Those are your clarifying cards for the Dreams of Dia deck. So if you're curious about, like, I'm not the only person that can help you with this. There's so many different people online that can help you with this. That can be like psychiatric help, counseling help. They can just listen to you, you know, if you need that. And then also, like, if you get a good like counselor, they're gonna talk, especially one that shares like similar views as you, like depending on what you practice, you're going to be able to kind of shift, like I just said, some of those, if it's karma, or if it's like behavioral, or you know what I mean, if you're behaving in a way that you're repeatedly pulling in things that happen the same way, that you can shift that, or if you can shift karma through dharmic work, etc. But it is something that a counselor, regardless of if it's someone that is like a psychologist, a psychiatrist, or someone that does like energy work, I'm not trying to judge. You're gonna know if you have like trauma that you need to work through with like a licensed person, not just like stuff you need to clear from your chakras and like things you need to work out, and maybe a plan of action to start doing things better in the future. Instead, this would be like I just said, like some form of behavioral. Ultimately, it would be behavioral counseling that you would want to seek if you don't feel like this is like karma, and you feel you just unfortunately repeatedly repeat patterns, which would mean that like somehow you're doing something wrong. You need to see it, right? If you can't see it on your own, so like someone else that can listen to you and kind of bounce ideas about that off of might be beneficial. Okay. Anyway, thank you very much, Firesides. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Hope you enjoyed the content. Again, don't forget to check out my website. It's live. And don't forget to book with me if you're interested in that. Have a beautiful Leo season. Happy birthday, Leos. And I'll see you in the next read.